Hi there, welcome to Camping Secrets. I'm Marky Mark. Now, as well as enjoying camping and walking and hiking and climbing in the mountains, since the COVID lockdown, I've really got back into cycling. I'm absolutely loving it. I've got an e-bike, I've got a standard analog mountain bike, and I've got a road bike. And it's really important to me to be able to transport my bikes to where I want to go safely and securely. I did have an episode with one of my bike racks that my bike literally fell off because it wasn't the right size for the bike I was using. So I keep my eye out for new bike racks, and I pay special attention to the solidity of the bike rack and how well it can be mounted on the car or vehicle. I recently came across a small British company called Pendle bike racks. They're based in a little town in Lancashire called Nelson. And they design and manufacture their bike racks in the UK. So that caught my eye because I really believe in buying British, especially in the current climate of harsh economic downturn in the UK. So we need to buy British. So I've got hold of one of their bike racks. This is called their W1 bike rack, and it's obviously, as the name suggests, can carry one bike. But they also make W2, W3, W4 for different numbers of bikes. And this can take up to 40 kilograms in weight. My biggest bike, my e-bike, is 25 kilograms. So this is perfect for e-bikes. It's fully adjustable in terms of width and position relative to the car. And it's got a modular design. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a single universal mounting plate which attaches to the tow ball. And once that's on, you can slot in different levels of bike rack. So the W1 can go in there, but the W2 can go into the same universal mounting plate. So really modular and flexible. So Pendle's three company core values are simplicity, safety, and strength. They use recycled materials. So the steel for this bike rack is all recycled. All the packaging is sustainable cardboard. So I really like that side as well. They care about where they're sourcing their materials from. So I'm going to take you through the W1 constituent parts. I'm going to show how it's fitted onto the tow ball. And then we'll put some bikes of different sizes on and just show you how flexible it is. Let's dig into this. Let's take you through the main part of the bike rack. Now this all comes in the box in its constituent parts, so it doesn't come as a fully assembled unit. So we've put a little animated GIF together to show you how we put this bike rack part together, and we'll play that. Let's go through the main parts. So it's all made of steel, and you've got these steel tubing here which goes into the universal mount once that's on the tow ball. We have these parts here on the side, and these hold the wheels of your bike. So they actually come out, but you can adjust the width according to the wheelbase of your bike. So if you've got an extra large, long bike like I have, you have them further out. If it's still not long enough, Pendle will sell longer versions of these separately. You don't have to buy the whole lot. You can buy the bits that you need. You can also buy, they call these Dloops. You can buy wider Dloops here. So if you've got a bike with fat tyres, you can get a 5-inch D-loop. This is the 3-inch, but it's good enough for my bikes. So you can adjust the width like this, but you can also adjust the lateral movement relative to your car. So if you want your bike further out or further closer to the car, you can adjust that. And then when you've got the 3 or 4, W2, W3, W4 bike rack, you can again adjust the position of each bike. So if you've got wide handlebars on one bike, you can move it relative to the other. I really like that simplicity and flexibility. You've got this one big bar up here, which you can bolt in place, and then you can strap your frame to this, strap your wheels to the D-loops, and your bike is secure. In terms of the registration plate, you can put that here. I've only just got this, so I haven't had time to do that yet. And then the lighting system is all LED, which is fantastic. Really bright lights, brake lights, etc. And you've got the standard European plug there for the electrics. So that's the main bike rack itself. Let's have a look at the universal mounting plate. So this bolts onto the tow ball. So if you've got a swan neck or a detachable tow bar, it will fit onto the tow ball. If you've got one of the older style 2-part flange standard tow balls that has the plate here, the flange, you can actually mount this universal mount behind the tow ball. So you can actually put the bike rack on but still have your tow ball accessible, and then you can still hitch your caravan or something onto it and carry a bike on the rack as well. So that's really nice if you've got one of those 2-part tow balls, but I don't, unfortunately, on the Mercedes. So I'm going to show you now how to attach this on. It does take a little bit of time. It's not a quick release system. Some people may see that as a disadvantage, but from my point of view, it's better to have your bike racks secure. So I don't mind doing a bit of ratcheting up with a socket set to attach this on. Once the universal mount's on, you can basically leave it on and then just attach the bike rack part when you need to. Right, let's spend a little bit of time putting this on, and then we can get the bike rack on and show you it holding some bikes. Okay, here we are. So as I say, this is the universal mounting plate, and we want to bolt this. Essentially there's 4 bolts, and this will connect onto the tow ball like this, and then we bolt a plate on the other side, so it's literally locked onto your tow ball. Now they do give you a tool to do this, a spanner, but I found that a 17mm socket set really speeds this process up. So let's get this on. You literally hold this over and then put a washer on. And then you get your nut and tighten it on. Pretty simple if you know what you're doing, because I don't. I've got to confess, my wife normally does this stuff. I'm not the world's greatest. Let's do the next. I may time lapse through this because you don't want to see me struggling with this sort of stuff. Okay, so that's firmly on there. So the great thing about this design is you can leave this permanently on. It's not easy to steal it unless you come equipped with a full tool set, and it's pretty unobtrusive. So the bike rack itself, I know this is only the one bike version, the W1, but it's pretty easy to carry around. I mean, I've got a Thule 3-bike Velofold bike rack, and that is really heavy. This is a piece of the proverbial to lift up and place into the mounting box. Okay, so it's as simple as that. You place it in, and you need to make sure that the bike rack is properly protruding from the end and it's dropped out of the bottom on both sides. And then to secure the 2 arms into the mounting plate, you've got another little securing plate here, which literally connects in at the bottom like that, and then you simply bolt that to the mounting plate as well. Now Pendle do give tools for all of this. You don't need your own tools. So anything black, they've given a black spanner. Anything orange, given a nice orange spanner. So I can just adjust that up, tighten that up underneath. So that is absolutely rock solid now. And then finally, just you drop down these plastic sleeves, which just drop down, and then these lovely orange cast parts just come down and screw on top. So it may seem a little fiddly, but it's not really. Once you know it, once the mounting plate's on, it's just a matter of minutes to put the bike rack on, and then this is so secure now. The problem with the quick release Thule style, it works really well, but there's always that slight risk that something's going to come loose. I think if you've properly clamped something and bolted it on yourself, you know it's not going to move. I like that. Okay, let's get a bike. So this is my wife's mountain bike. Just had it to hand. So as I said before, these D-loops can be moved in or out depending on the width of your bike. And then you can bolt them in place, so you can get it set up for your bike and then sort of tighten it once you've got it how you want it. So you only have to do the adjustments once really if you're transporting the same bike around. That's pretty cool. So let's get the bike onto the D-loop. You do have this bar here for strapping the bike to, and you can adjust the position of that and then clamp that as well. So just a simple case of lifting up, put the wheel in the D-loop. As you can see, the back one's in, but the front one's not. We can just adjust the width here of that front one, and Bob's your uncle, you're in. So let's lift that bar up now. So we've now got the bar here, and then we can then strap the frame to that and the wheels to the D-loop. Let's do it. So before we do that, we want to bolt these D-loops in position because they're at the correct width now. And we also want to decide where we want the bike relative to the van. Because if you've got wide handlebars, you don't want it smashing into your rear window, because as you go around there, so in a way you want the bike a bit further out, but not so far that it's, if you've got a heavy bike, you want to be as close to the van as possible, or the car. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. I'm thinking this one could do with coming out a little bit. So just bring it out. Ooh. And then we can bolt. You've got bolts here for the D-loops, and you've got bolts here so that the cross member is also secured. Just in here. So now that's secure, and then front and back is secure. Brilliant. Then you need to connect the electrical socket to the van. No easy way of doing this without getting down and dirty. So finally, you want to secure your bike so that it doesn't fly off when you're driving. Pendle supply these sort of ratchet straps, which you might see on suitcases or whatever. And it's really simple again. Just a case of threading through around the D-loop with the strap. pulling it tight. And then slotting that through as well. So so nice and simple and secure. So now I've strapped the bike at those 3 locations and we're nice and solidly attached. So really this is ready to go now. But you can see how flexible it is in terms of width and position on the bike rack. It's just a really simple system and works well. So far so good. But what are the downsides of the Pendle W1? Well, I've said it's really strong and stable, but that stability comes at the expense of, I guess, ease of use and quickness of attachment. Like I say, putting that mounting block on takes a little bit of fiddling, but once it's on, it's on. But there's no denying it's not as plug and play as some of the more expensive bike racks on the market with the quick release systems. So that's one downside. The other is that it's a fixed bed, fixed platform bike rack. There's no tilting. So one thing we like to do when we're going camping with bikes is to be able to get into the back of the camper van, access all the stuff there. There are bike racks on the market like the Thule Velo Fold, the Thule Velo Space, the Atira Strada DL3 that can sort of tilt or slide out of the way with the bikes on, and you can open the boot and then get your stuff and then slot the bikes back without having to remove them. With this bike rack, you would have to take off the whole rack before being able to get in the back like that. Of course you can get in the other doors, but I would class that as one downside for the camper van use. But as Pendle say, you can't please everybody. What this offers is different from a lot of other bike racks. It just does what it's meant to do in a real simple, strong manner, and I do love it for that reason. The other thing to think about is security. Now, a lot of bike racks try and, placate people in with regards to security. They have like a key and sort of really basic lock system to lock either the bike frame to the tow ball or the bike to the bike rack. And Pendle say, in a way, that's a waste of time. And I've got to agree with them. I think if any thief wants to steal your bike and you're not there off a bike rack, they can do it. So Pendle don't bother with the keys and the really flimsy locks. There's no security as far as I can tell with the bike rack, and the security straps, anyone can remove them. You're left to look after the security yourself, and in a way that's probably the best way. You could get a D-lock it to the bike rack, and even potentially D-lock the bike rack to the tow ball. But even if you do that, a thief probably could steal your bike and the bike rack and the car if they want to. So it's a sad state of the world, but in a way, I think it's better not to bother with a poor security system if it gets in the way of the functionality of the bike rack. And that's the way Pendle have done it here. Again, simplicity is the buzzword, and I like it. So what do we make of the Pendle W1 bike rack in summary? Well, as I said, I really love the fact it's a back to basics, does what it says on the tin bike rack. It's made from sustainable materials, recycled steel. I really like the bright LED parts, for the lights, really nice. The color scheme, the look is fantastic, and the stability, excellent. The modular design with the universal mounting plate I like. You can keep that in position, take the bike rack off within minutes, and the full adjustability on width, even for my massive extra large Trek Rail 7 e-bike, it fits on with ease. If you've got bigger bikes, you can buy separately the different Dloops and just fit them on in a modular way. So again, great simplicity. The thing I hadn't mentioned before is there is a lifetime guarantee from Pendle. If any part of this breaks over the life, well, over forever, they will replace that part, no quibbles. And that is a really great pledge that they've made there. So, do I like the W1? Yes, I do, and I will be using it henceforth. For me, it's perfect because I go out cycling a lot on my own. Just a simple, light, one bike rack is perfect for me. But as I say, you can expand. As your family grows, you get the next one in the series and so on. So for me, it's a thumbs up. If you're interested in checking out the Pendle W1 or any of the bike racks in their range, check out the link in the description below. And please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be reviewing loads more gear and going on camping adventures over the coming months and years. So please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Marky Mark. This has been Camping Secrets. Over and out.